But with the way the performance of the Tigers this season so far, with the losses to Wisconsin and now Auburn, they went ahead and they fired both Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator, and Les Miles, the head coach. And I really don't know what LSU is going to do moving forward throughout this season. Who's better right now to fill in at this point in the season, to change philosophy, to change the program, to get them moving in another direction? I don't know that there's that person out there. So now you're looking at a bridge guy, and you're trying to get your program to just play as well as you can for the rest of the year. LSU's firing coaches. Notre Dame fired their defensive coordinator. So, the business part is there. You got to win. You got to produce. You can't have these big market teams, so to speak, not producing, because you got alumni, you got board of trustees, people that are investing money that want to, get something back on that investment. Dominating performance by another purple and gold team, except on the NFL level, after LSU fell to Auburn last night because they didn't get the ball off. They didn't snap the ball in time. But the Minnesota Vikings, they just decided, we lost Adrian Peterson. We lost our left tackle. We lost our quarterback. That's all right. We'll win special teams, and we'll play amazing shutdown, lights-out defense. We're going to challenge the Broncos. We're going to put our name in that hat of quality defenses in the NFL. And that's what Minnesota did. They came out today, and they put it on Carolina. 22-10 victory, pretty much on the backs of the defense. 8 sacks. They had the safety, 2 or 3 interceptions of Cam. Minnesota Vikings defense, I told you guys this. They are studs. They are young. They are fast. They are athletic, and they get at it. They started to show it last year with how they dominated Detroit in 2 games and made Detroit's whole offense look like they were JV. And they're continuing that kind of style now against every team they face. And this young defense, as it gets more and more confidence, look out. I'm telling you, they are going to be tough to beat if they keep playing like this. If they get anything out of the offense, they got the special teams punt return touchdown. They won special teams. They won the defensive side. They won 2 of 3 phases of the game. They went out. They beat Carolina today. So that moves them to 3-0. They're at top of the division. Packers are a game back at 2-1. Then you got the Lions sitting at 1-2. The Bears play Cowboys tonight. Next week we got the Bears. So we'll have to see if it's a basement game or what's going on there. Top-rated offense in the NFL coming into today was the Oakland Raiders. They had the Tennessee Titans. They did pick up a victory here, 17-10, trying to keep pace with the Broncos there in the West. Nothing really too spectacular in this game. Both running backs had good games. Marcus Mariota again with a few picks. I'm just looking at the highlights of the Lions plays again. That's just horrible. So let's get into some of the other scores. Oh, this coming in. I saw this, and this stood out to me today. Jacksonville played Baltimore today. Steve Smith, we know he's a talker. We know he's a competitive guy. And there's a photo now that Bleacher Report put out. It's a story they ran about Steve Smith and Jalen Ramsey. And Jalen Ramsey basically saying, he's still a good player, and that's something nice I can say about him, but I don't respect him as a man. So I don't know what went down with that there, but that's definitely going to be something to check out for sure. Russell Wilson goes down with a knee injury today in Seattle's win over San Francisco. We'll have to see what happens there. That could be a big loss for them. Boykin is playing well, but I don't know that Seattle would like to run with that for the rest of the season, if you know what I mean. So let's hit all the scores, see what's going on with all the action in today's games, early games, afternoon games. We talked about this game already. Green Bay pulled out a good win for them in Lambeau, keeping pace with Minnesota pretty much, staying 1 game back there in the NFC North, beating Detroit today on the back of Aaron Rodgers' 4 first-half touchdowns, 34-27 in that one. The LA Rams, with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, are up on Tampa Bay 37-32. This game, to me, is just showing us that Tampa Bay isn't who we all kind of got excited about. They're still not quite that team yet. count them in that second tier of teams, possibly a wild card if they get lucky. We got Indianapolis is currently up 26-22 on San Diego, who has possession with little over a minute left in the fourth quarter. This is one San Diego's trying to pull out. It would be huge for them with the injuries they've suffered and the big letdown to Kansas City in Week 1. Again, tonight is Chicago and Dallas. I expect Dallas to go ahead and shine in this one, being that Chicago hasn't shown much and they're also dealing with a rash of injuries. Monday night will be the Atlanta-New Orleans game. That could be we could see 40 points from both teams in that game, as there's really no defense involved. We talked about the Thursday night game. New England embarrassed Houston 27-0. And, they won 2 of the 3 phases. They won defense and they won special teams. Houston is not who we thought they were. I didn't think they were all that special. I think Brock Osweiler's highly overpaid, and I think he's a top-tier backup and maybe a third-tier starting quarterback, but he's getting paid. And you know what? You're going to get what you get out of him. He's got interceptions in every game so far. He's got, 200 yards or so in every game so far. Big risk, big reward. Sometimes it's going to pay off, sometimes it's not. And if that defense can't stop who they need to stop, and you don't, limit your turnovers, you don't have a guy who's going to be worth $18 million a year by any means. Arizona, I don't know what's up with Arizona. They're definitely not playing like a team that I thought they'd play like at this point in the season, now sitting at 1-2, as they go up to Buffalo today and lose 33-18 with just a rash of interceptions by Carson Palmer, and really just a couple big plays by Sean McCoy that really did in that game. We talked about Minnesota and Carolina. Minnesota winning that one 22-10. Denver pulling out their victory on the road in Cincinnati 29-17. Baltimore did knock off Jacksonville. Remember, I picked Jacksonville to win this week. I thought they would get the nod there. But Baltimore moves to 3-0 as they win 19-17 over Jacksonville. Miami and Cleveland had to go to overtime. I don't know what's going on with Miami. They must be trying to be the South Beach version of the Detroit Lions, get a bunch of talent and just not be able to do anything with it, because they are stacked. They let Cody Kessler put up 24 points today as a rookie quarterback starting in Week 3 for the first time. Not, real efficient on the offensive side of the ball today. They got a lot to work on. And that's not what you want to hear for a team, in my opinion, in Week 3. You don't want to hear, man, they got a lot to work on. They really got to start putting something together on one side of the ball. But they're one of those teams that are sitting in that spot right now. Washington pulled out a win today over the Giants, 29-27, another close one for the Giants this year. All 3 of their games, like I mentioned earlier, have been within a score. Odell Beckham became the fastest player to 200 catches in this game and reaching that mark in only 30 games. Josh Norman pretty much did follow him around the field the whole game. There was only about a handful of snaps he didn't line up across from Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham did make him look bad on one series and 2 straight plays. And he got over 100 yards receiving today. Sterling Shepard, if you guys had him on your fantasy team, you got some points out of that rookie again today as he scored another touchdown. He was a fantasy sleeper for me this year for sure. I mentioned to a couple people that you might want to get him and just have him available on the bench. Oakland, we talked about them. They won 17-10 over Tennessee. Tennessee's looking like they're going to be on a youth movement. They still definitely have some holes on their roster. But, they got some pieces. DeMarco Murray in that running game are doing things. And Marcus Mariota definitely has the skill to play at this level. But now they got to develop an offense that he can run and not try and get him to run in offense. Seattle, big win today up in San Francisco, winning 37-18. Big thing out of that game is, what is Russell Wilson's status going to be? I'm watching the highlights of the Packers-Lions game again on another channel here, and I'm watching them strip Ebron and return basically a fumble there, setting up Nelson for another touchdown that he pushed off to get, mind you. But back to the highlights. Philadelphia. Okay, if you guys remember, I picked Philadelphia to lose in the NFC East. Thought they would bring up the rear, maybe win 4 games on the year. Well, they are making a clown out of me, as they are now 3-0 on the season with the rookie quarterback. As they beat up Pittsburgh today, just throttled them 34-3. What do you say? The kid's playing out of control. They found an offense that fits their player, and they're having him run that offense. He's running it very well. It's giving motivation to the defense. They're not worried that, we have this rookie quarterback. What are we going to do? And they're playing great defense. Not great defense, great offense. They're not backing down. They're staying confident, and they're sitting on top of the NFC East right now with the Giants falling today at 3-0. So good job, Philadelphia. And Kansas City, we talked about, they beat up the Jets today. Jets, I don't know what your problem is. You guys are just boo-boo right now as you lose. What was your guys' final score? 24-3, I believe. Yeah, 24-3 was your guys' final score. So, we got Dallas and Chicago tonight. Okay, I'm looking for Dallas's offense to have a successful night. I expect Ezekiel Elliott to maybe have his best night. Maybe not score, but yardage-wise, you might see him hit that century mark and a little more. I think Des Bryant's going to have a big night tonight. Dak Prescott, he should have a good night tonight. I think Jason Witten could have a very big night tonight, as Chicago doesn't have a lot of linebackers right now. Danny Trevathan's out, and really that's not a solid position for Chicago at their linebacker spot. I believe Alshon Jeffrey's down. Jay Cutler's not playing tonight, so Brian Hoyer's going to be the starter. Who knows what we're going to get out of Brian Hoyer? It could be a quality game, or it could be a what's going on with Brian Hoyer type game. Why are we playing this guy type game? And that's definitely not something that they want to see tonight out of Chicago. Big game for both teams. Chicago's got to try and get some momentum. They don't want to be down 3 games early in the season in the NFC North. Dallas is trying to keep pace in the NFC East. If they can win tonight, they stay on pace, but game back. And tonight's game will say a lot about both teams. Where's their heart? Are they going to struggle? Are they going to fight? Are they going to do what they need to do to win tonight and create some momentum? Because that's what every team that won today, that's what they created. You look at what the Minnesota Vikings did. Their defense created momentum. You look at what Seattle did. Their offense created the momentum for today. The defense then picked up on that, got some turnovers themselves. What Denver was able to do. The defense wasn't doing much. Von Miller hadn't had a sack yet. Trevor Siemian hits a couple long touchdowns. All of a sudden, the defense starts making some big plays. It's a game of huge momentum. Look at the Packers-Lions game. Packers go up huge, 31-3 at half, or 31-3 at one point in the first half. Then they only score 3 points in the second half, and the Lions come all the way back to within 7. Momentum's huge. Playing as a team is huge. If you can win 2 out of the 3 phases, you got a good chance. I'm excited to watch tonight's game. Sunday's show, we're going to keep Sunday's show short always so that we can get it in between the afternoon game and the night game and get some dinner in after the show and all that good stuff. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to the show. Thanks for supporting me. If you get a chance, check out the GoFundMe page for Real Deal Sports Talk. We're trying to raise some money to get some better equipment so we can put on a better product. I want to thank thedirtcannon.com for being the official fantasy partner of Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. Check us out on Facebook, Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. Follow us on Twitter, Real Deal KVP. And you know what? We just appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your Sunday football. And until next time, just be real.